Coming up on this episode of Hit the Sled, it's the Super Bowl. And we're going to talk about the entire matchup next on Hit the Sled. Hey, what's up, everybody? This Eve coming to y'all with a Super Bowl edition of Hit the Sled. Hey, before we get started on this episode, subscribe to the YouTube channel, Hit the Sled. Not only that, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I'm everywhere, man. I truly appreciate everybody watching the videos, everybody supporting me. That being said, as we get ready for the Super Bowl matchup, hey, we got the Kansas City Chiefs against the San Francisco 49ers. Man, what a matchup. What a game coming up. Last game of the year. It's bittersweet for all us football fans to know that after tonight, after Sunday's game, we won't have another football game till August. 7 months. It's gonna be but it'll go by pretty fast though. The NFL has done a great job through the years of continually having something about football year round. It's not like it was when we were kids, where literally after the Super Bowl, that's it. Now you have the draft, you have the combine, you have free agency, you have the schedule. So the NFL does a lot for you to for the NFL to be in your minds. Even though the NBA, you got March Madness, the Masters, the NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, and baseball starts. But it's nothing like college football. It's nothing like the NFL. So, but let's enjoy this Super Bowl. And that being said, for this Super Bowl matchup, man, you got to start with the quarterbacks, of course. You got to start with Pat Mahomes against that San Francisco defense. And then you got to look on the other side. You got Brock Purdy against the Kansas City Chiefs defense. And when you look at the coaching matchup, you got Kyle Shanahan against Spags, Kansas City's defensive coordinator. You got Andy Reid against Steve Wilks, the 49ers defensive coordinator. And if you look at these matchups, if you're being honest, and you look at these matchups, you would say Kansas City is the favorite. But according to Vegas, the 49ers are the favorite. And as I'm looking at this, you got Pat Mahomes against San Francisco defense. We're going to talk about the Niners defense. In my opinion, that matchup clearly favors Pat Mahomes. It clearly favors Patrick Mahomes, in my mind. I don't think there's no hesitation about it. When you look at Brock Purdy against this Kansas City defense, I would definitely have to go with Kansas City defense. And we're going to talk about that too as well. Kansas City defense had played well all year. And we'll talk about that. Kyle Shanahan against Spags. To me, it's kind of a draw. Kyle Shanahan coming into the Super Bowl, the last two playoff games, they played the divisional round where they played Green Bay. He was decidedly the better coach. You come to the championship game, playing Detroit against Aaron Glenn. Kyle Shanahan was the better coach. But in this Super Bowl here against Spags, who has been there, done that, played against the undefeated Patriots when he was with the Giants, when he was the Giants defensive coordinator, beat an undefeated Patriots team, one of the greatest teams of all time, where if they would have won that Super Bowl, they would have been labeled the best team of all time. And Spags beat them. Spags came up with a scheme to beat them. And you look at Andy Reid against Steve Wilks. I'm not even hesitating with that. That's an Andy Reid special right there. So when you look at the matchups, the pivotal matchups in this game, in my opinion, they clearly favor the Kansas City Chiefs. You look at the quarterbacks. Pat Mahomes so far in the playoffs, he has a 70% completion percentage. He has 4 touchdowns, and he's only been sacked twice. Whereas though you have Brock Purdy, who has a 61% completion percentage, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. However, you got to give Brock Purdy credit. When it really mattered, he was able to step up and make some plays to help his team get to the Super Bowl. That's a hell of a job by him. So you got to give him credit. In the big spot, Brock Purdy did do his job. He made some pivotal plays. He made some runs. He completed some passes. When the 49ers needed it, he did do it. So he's done his part. You got regard to the rushing, Christian McCaffrey, 188 yards, 4 touchdowns. And Isaiah Pacheco, he has 254 yards and 3 touchdowns. So both of them been running the ball quite effectively. Pacheco, man, did a hell of a job against the Ravens. He did an outstanding job running the ball. So, man, the Russian attacks, that's right there as well. So you look at it on defense, I think this is going to be the key to the game. And we're going to start off with the San Francisco defense. San Francisco defense has been a weak point so far in for the 49ers this postseason. Kansas City defense, on the other hand, they've been lights out all year and all through the playoffs. They've been playing really well. If the Niners are going to win this Super Bowl, in my opinion, if the Niners are going to win this Super Bowl, their defense has to play outstanding. They have to play great. They have to play, man, tremendously. They gotta play one of their best games all year. See, most people that are going to be talking about this game, they're going to be talking about Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy got to play great for the Niners to win. No, he don't. Brock Purdy doesn't have to play great. All Brock Purdy has to do is be part of the reason why they win, not the reason why they lose. That's all Brock Purdy has to do. Be part of the reason why they win and not the reason why they lose. If he does that, they have an outstanding chance of winning this game. They have a good chance, of winning this game. Because the reason why the Niners will win or lose this game will be because of their defense. Man, the 49ers defense has been porous all postseason. If we're going to be honest with you, they've been poor ever since that Baltimore game on Christmas. When Baltimore came in there and Lamar and Likely, Zay Flowers, Odell, all them boys, they came down there and beat them peoples, man. They took advantage of Purdy's turnovers, but still, they ran the ball. Lamar made some plays running. He threw the ball effectively. And since then, the Bullies ain't been the same. They have not been the same. During the playoffs alone, the Niners defense, the San Francisco 49ers defense, they allowed Green Bay to run the ball 28 times for 136 yards. Aaron Jones ran the ball 18 times for 108 yards. That's terrible. They were down late in that game in the fourth quarter, and they had to rally to win that game. Yeah, you come to say, well, they made plays. They made some plays late. Hey, man, let's be honest. Jordan Love threw some bad interceptions. That's why they ended up winning that game. And Brock Purdy did step up. Brock Purdy made some plays at the end during that rain game. That's why they were able to get the win. They didn't really shut Green Bay down. Jordan Love played. He didn't play poorly that game. He had some critical turnovers in bad times. At one point, they was down 24-7 to Detroit in an NFC Championship game. You go to that NFC Championship game, they down 24-7 at halftime. They allowed Detroit to run the ball 29 times for 182 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's what they let Detroit do that. Detroit was up 24-7. 24-7. And if it wasn't for Dan Campbell's poor decisions to go forward on 4th down, the Niners would have lost that game. The San Francisco 49ers would not have been in the Super Bowl if Dan Campbell didn't make those bad decisions. Dan Campbell gave the 49ers the opportunity to get back in the game, at which they did, and they ended up winning the game, running away with it at the end to go to the Super Bowl. They really never did shut Detroit down. Detroit just made some bad decisions as far as going for it when they weren't supposed to go for it. Those were critical plays. Then you got the efforts. Not playing with effort. On numerous plays, you can see guys not playing hard. Not playing with effort, which is totally unexcusable, in my opinion. For guys to be in the NFC Championship game and for them not to be playing with effort, in particular, you got Bosa in the very first possession for the Detroit Lions. Nick Bosa they ran a reverse. Nick Bosa didn't give effort, and Jameson Williams took a reverse to the end zone. Former Defensive Player of the Year, half-assing it out there, getting paid $20, $30 million. That's unexcusable. Can't do that. You cannot do that. Can't do it. You got Chase Young not running the play down, jogging, walking out there on the field. I saw that during the game. I said, man, look at Chase. Chase ain't doing nothing right there. Look at him. Look at him. So we're going to see, because if we can see it, you best believe Andy Reid and those coaching staff, Matt Nagy and them boys, they see it too. And if we're going to be honest, and let's be honest, the weak teams on that, the weakness on between both teams is the 49ers defense. Their secondary is not that great. They're missing a safety from USC, the All-Pro. I'm forgetting his name right now. He tore his ACL early in the year. Their corners, they're okay. They ain't striking no fear in Pat Mahomes. So what are the Niners gonna do? They're gonna try to double on Kelce, take Kelce out the game. You think Andy Reid don't know that? You think Andy Reid don't know that? They went in there last year. They went to San Francisco last year. Tyreek Hill wasn't there last year. Same parts are still there, other than Juju. Other than Juju the only receiver ain't there. And they went to San Francisco last year and beat them boys down. So what you think? You think they're gonna be scared coming into that game? Like, nah, we ain't scared of them. We ain't got, man, we're gonna go down there and beat these boys. We're gonna beat them down. That's what Kansas City feel. And between the San Francisco offense, the Kansas City defense, the Kansas City offense, the San Francisco defense is the weakest unit that's going to be on that field. Yeah, they got Fred Warner. Yeah, they got Greenlaw. Yeah, they got Bosa. Man, people been running all over the Niners this postseason. Ever since that Baltimore game, everybody running the ball. They're like, we ain't scared. We ain't scared of the Niners. We ain't scared of that defense. And this is for the marbles. So I expect Kansas City to come out and try to continue the same way they were physical against Baltimore. It's the same way they're going to come out. Especially when you talking about that Kansas City defense. Man, that Kansas City defense, people ain't talking about it because all the attention, Pat Mahomes get the attention. Kansas City defense has carried Kansas City all this season. They've been the best unit the entire season for Kansas City. Chris Jones and them boys, they've done a tremendous job. Willie Gay, Bolton, Snead. Man, these boys, they've been physical. They've been lights out there. They're going to have their hands full now. Let's not get it twisted. They're going to have their hands full. But they carried this team all year because the mob they going against is like the old Niners with Roger Craig, Rathman, Brent Jones, Jerry Rice, John Taylor. It's a similar type crew over here, man. Man, the Niners, you got Christian McCaffrey, you got Debo, you got Brandon Ayuk, Kyle Juszczyk, the fullback, and you got Kittle. So Kansas City hands gonna be full. Kansas City hands gonna be full. They gonna be like, man, but so what? We ain't worrying about it. We beat them peoples last year. And don't nothing they do shock us. That's what they gonna say. The Niners offense can dice you up too. But Kansas City said, man, we ain't worried about it. We got DBs. We got pass rush. They did lose their defensive end to one of their defensive ends to an ACL. So that's going to compromise the pass rush a little bit. But still, Spags are going to come up with something. Man, Kansas City feel like they can do this. They feel like they can win this Super Bowl, make it 3 for Pat Mahomes. But they're gonna need the offense to get some points on the board. They're gonna need to score 30 points to beat the San Francisco 49ers. The Kansas City Chiefs are gonna need to score 30 points against that Niners defense. If they do that, they got a great possibility to get that win. A great possibility to get the win. So I'm looking forward to this. Kansas City, man, I'm picking Kansas City Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. With Pat Mahomes getting an MVP again. I'm picking Kansas City to win the Super Bowl 30-24. And the reason why I'm picking them is because the Niners defense. I don't believe they can be able to shut down Pat Mahomes. I don't believe Kansas City defense is going to let Debo and them boys run through them. I think Pat Mahomes and them going to come out there. They're going to score 30 points on them peoples, man. This is Andy Reid we talking about. Against Steve Wilkes. All respect to Steve Wilkes, man. Should be a head coach. Should have been the head coach of the Carolina Panthers, but they did him dirty. Owner don't know what he doing. He many Dan Snyder over there. He don't know what's going on. I feel bad. I know what Carolina going through when you ain't got no hope. Owner just spending money. He just throwing 5-on-5, 3 coaches. He got all the money. He don't care. He spending money till he don't spend money, like Dan Snyder was. Little big man. So, man, listen here. I got Kansas City winning this Super Bowl right here. They're going to win the game 30-24. 30-24 with Pat Mahomes being the MVP. Pat Mahomes gonna get his third MVP. Kansas City gonna win the Super Bowl, and this right here is a testament to how great Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes is going. They're gonna be named. They're gonna be talked about. Andy Reid will become an all-time legend after this game. So will Pat Mahomes, all-time legend. All-time legend. It's amazing to me to see this young man come from Texas Tech, where I remember when he was playing Oklahoma. They was playing Oklahoma, and I got tired of watching it. I couldn't take no more because there was no defense. Pat going against Baker Mayfield. They just going up and down the field, throwing bombs, 2-3 plays, touchdown. It was god-awful defense. You got to have some type of defense out there. Them boys weren't having no defense. No defense was out there. And he's become what he's become. It's amazing. It's a testament to him, and he's gotten better every year. And you best believe this offense, the way it looked this past season, it's not what it's gonna look like the next season, because the Kansas City Chiefs front office is gonna get players, dynamic wide receivers to put around Pat Mahomes. You best believe that. They ain't gonna have no Tonys out there no more. Ain't no Kadarius Tonys out there no more. Kadarius Toney will be on another team next year. But this season, to end this season right here, Pat Mahomes wins his third Super Bowl, 30-24. And with that being said, this is going to be a great season for me on Hit the Sled. But we ain't done yet. We got to do our review of the Super Bowl, man. But I'm excited about what we did, what I did this past season, and we're gonna talk about how grateful I am for everybody that's been watching my videos, man. We got a lot we're gonna be doing coming up during the off season, next season, stuff and beyond. But I truly appreciate everybody watching these videos. As the Super Bowl comes, as the Super Bowl gets here, it's going to be bittersweet. Hit the Sled, we're going to be right here. We're going to be talking about, there's a lot of stuff going on with the Redskins. We got another Hit the Sled episode coming about the Redskins / Commanders. The coaching staff is coming through, coming together. Dan Quinn is putting something together. It looks like, man, he's going to have a very good coaching staff. And hey, it looks like they on their way, man. It looks like we might be on to something. This thing is gonna turn around real quick. With that being said, I truly appreciate y'all watching this episode of Hit the Sled. Hey, subscribe. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all watching this episode. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, man, TikTok. We're gonna be everywhere, man. I appreciate y'all. Hit the Sled. Thank you. Appreciate it.